This week is about slowing down, becoming more intentional, realizing that progress doesn't come from reacting faster, it comes from responding wiser. Hi, it's Michelle from Michelle P. Astrology, and this is the energies of the week of July 6th to July 12th, 2026. We do start the week where you want to become more intentional and slow down. We have the sun come to square Saturn. Saturn being can throw blocks. It can be weighty. What kind of responsibilities are you putting on your shoulders? Are they yours to bear? This is work of understanding, that Saturn made the square is tension that brings progress, but you also have to understand like what responsibilities, Saturn, are you putting on yourself? Are they yours? Are they going to help you move forward? Are you picking up other people's lint? And that's what you're going to come to realize, because when you feel the slow down sometimes from Saturn, you get weighty, it gets a little discouraging. You have to really process, is your stuff that's slowing you down, is it what you're not doing because you are busy doing other things for other people? Give yourself the oxygen, like we always say. And then, you can kind of parse out what you have to let go of, or what you need to, just put down for now until you can get yourself back on track. But it's not that things aren't progressing. They're just making us aware of what we may allow, of maybe our boundaries are being a little bit more dissolved. We have to really rebuild those boundaries up. Because now come to Tuesday, the moon comes to conjunct Saturn, and that's emotional maturity. And that's more of the understanding from the inside. Does this feel like, yes, I am taking on too much? My paper plate is too full, and it's going to fall if I don't let go of some of the things that are not helping myself move forward. And that's where our emotional maturity comes into play, because Mercury right now is retrograde. So in our minds, we may be thinking that we're letting people down. Our old patterns are coming back of taking care of other people instead of ourselves first. And we really need to keep an eye on that, because it is a little bit of a messy Mercury retrograde. And, old patterns may come back, and you need to be aware of the progress you have worked on to work on your patterns and those old, and breaking of them, if you will. By midweek, once again, I'm saying what I had said because Mercury does come to square, the moon comes to square Mercury, and that's where that emotional patterns, they revisit, revise, redo. You may be hearing from old ghosts and old people that want to come and kind of throw a little bit more of a, just things that you weren't on your schedule, or they weren't on your list, that we are making sure that we do as well, because of the Mercury retrograde. We want to go back to what we've been working on. We do not want to start things new. This is Mercury retrograde. I like the retrogrades. I feel that it gives me a minute to take a breath and to go back to my unfinished business, so that I can organize myself and then move forward. And then as it goes forward, we can move forward and then go back to what maybe responsibilities that we had picked up to help other people. But until we get ourselves in order, it's really hard, and it's almost discouraging and it's going to drain our energy. And then we don't have enough time and space for what we need to really take seriously. Thursday, Venus comes to Virgo. It just moved into Virgo. Virgo is practical. It's practical daily routines. It keeps, we look at the minutia. It's, double checking, triple checking, getting ourselves once again organized. Venus is, relationships with others, platonic or just contractually, or love relationships. It's the small things that we're going to be looking at now that Venus has entered Virgo, our values. What are the small things we can do on a daily basis to build a better, sustainable Venus? Like your values, your love, your money, your your pleasures, So this is what's going to be taking a look at once Venus does come into Virgo, and that's by Thursday, and she'll be there for a little bit. Now we'll have some time for that. But it's always the small things, it's always grand gestures that make it, it's those small little mementos or the little daily things that you do even for yourself, for self-care, that that brings you to a more calmer, slower, organized place, because we do have other activity in the sky that's going on that's really, really spicy. That's really, throwing some works, like some fireworks into the air. Not even that it's past the 4th of July, they're still going to be there. And how we do our daily, I don't want to say grind because it's a harsher word, but our daily self-care that we know makes us feel good. Is it organizing? Is it working out? Is it doing meditating? Is it journaling? Mercury's retrograde. Write down some things. Just get it out of your head. Vision board. Love them. Coming into the weekend, all of what was just said is going to help, because we have the moon that comes to join Mars and Uranus. And this is, it's in Gemini. So Gemini itself is ruled by this Mercury, which is retrograde. We are going to be abuzz with our minds and mental activity, and we could get very scattered. Uranus isn't one that contains, and Mars isn't one that deactivates. It activates, and it makes it even faster. That's why slowing down this weekend, being more intentional. Watch triggers. Watch for things that may make your pressure rise, your blood pressure rise. Respond more intentionally and, and not react. It's a wiser way, and believe it or not, it does help us to move forward in a better light. We do close the week with the Sun conjunct Mercury, which is Mercury Cazimi, and it is retrograde. So we may, look back to our past so we don't bring those things forward. The work that we've done all week on clearing out our space with our old patterns, so we don't go back to those old patterns. We always look back for wisdom, but we don't stare at them, and we don't really carry them forward. So this Sun conjunct Mercury, the Mercury Cazimi, is a clarifying moment of realization where you'll see that your patterns you may see the patterns come up within yourself, and you'll be able to, of course, correct them, acknowledge them, and then let them go. And it's a really positive end to the week of, there's a lot of chaos and just movement going on. I mean, it's not only the summer, just 4th of July, a lot of astro in the air. And I feel everyone's pretty aware of the speediness that the summer brings, and the lack of structure, because, of everyone traveling and vacations and all this. And it can get a little buzzy, and it can get out of hand, and then that can really be the takedown if we allow it. And what we're going to do this week is not allow it, right? Well, I hope you have a great week. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you next week.